Tak vás zdravím a vítám vás zpátky. Jdem pokračovat. Myslím, že tady někde jsme měli, jo tady. Ne, tak to už jsme sebrali. Myslím, že tady ještě nahoře tady něco bylo. Tak, trošičku jsem upravil ještě zvuk. Takže tohle je další testování videa spíš. Takže možná tohle bude taky krátký.
Saren. Nihilus. This isn't your mission, Saren. What are you doing here?
The Council thought you could use some help on this one.
I wasn't expecting to find the Geth here. The situation's bad.
Don't worry. I've got it under control.
Tak. My jsme slyšeli, jak ho zabil.
Smells like smoke and death.
Somebody's gonna pay for this. Let's get the bastards. We should move. We thought this world was safe until the Geth showed up. It used to be beautiful here. Somebody's gonna pay for this.
Ona mi připomíná toho Jenkinse. Nebo jak se jmenoval ten týpek, co strašně chtěl jít do akce a potom tam zhebnul.
What is that? Off in the distance.
It's a ship. Look at the size of it.
Teď nejsem jistý, ale myslím si, že byste měli zmáčknout nějaký tlačítko a ono by se ten obraz měl přímo objevit a dívat se na něj, na tu loď, ale nic se to neobjevilo. Se nehejbej. Když jsem totiž všiml, že mi občas není rozumět. Nebo když řeknu nějaké slovo, tak půlka toho slova mi není rozumět, jo? Takže to občas vyzní nějak tak hloupě, jako že bych, já nevím, neuměl mluvit, jako samozřejmě moje mluva sice není vysoká. No konečně. Ale jedno slovo ještě dokážu říct, jo. No to potom z toho mikrofonu zní, jako kdybych to slovo jako bych nedořekl, nebo já nevím, jak to vyzní. Ještě jeden. To má někam střídit. Budu muset vylákat. Počkat, tady jsem... Ne, to nemám žádnou schopnost, jenom on. Tak, kolikneme do tohle.
Perimeter clear.
Zatím mi to přijde jako to, jednoduchý. Počkat, tady byl nějaký trik. Vím, že tady jsou schovaný lidi. Počkat. Já teď nevím. My přijdeme tam a on nám něco řekne. Počkat. Možná tady teď potřebujete tu zápornou karmu.
Everybody stay calm out there. We're coming out, we're not armed.
Is it safe? Are they gone?
You're okay now. Nobody's gonna hurt you.
Those things were crawling all around the shed. They would have found us for sure. We owe you our lives.
I still can't believe it. When we saw that ship, I thought it was all over.
It showed up right before the attack. Knew it was trouble the second I saw it, so we made a break for the sheds.
Tell me everything you remember about the attack.
The three of us were working the crops when that ship showed up. We just saw it and ran. I don't know what happened to the rest of the crew.
They were by the garage, over near the spaceport, right where that ship came down. No way they survived.
You don't know that. We survived. If they made it to the garage, they could have had a fighting chance.
Do you know anything about the Prothean beacon they dug up?
We're just farmers. We heard they found something out there, but it never really mattered to us. Not until now.
What else can you tell me about the ship you saw?
I was too busy running to get a clear look at it. I think it landed over near the spaceport.
Tell them about the noise, Cole. That awful noise.
It was emitting some kind of signal as it descended. It sounded like the shriek of the damned. Only it was coming from inside your own head.
It was probably trying to block communications.
Whatever it was, felt like it was tearing right through my skull. Almost made it impossible to think.
I have to go.
Hey, Cole, we're just a bunch of farmers. These guys are soldiers. Maybe we should give them the stuff.
Jeez, Blake, you gotta learn when to shut up.
You have something to tell me, Cole?
Some guys at the spaceport were running a small smuggling ring, nothing major. In exchange for a cut of the profits, we let them store packages in our sheds.
Jo.
You're breaking the law, Cole.
We're not hurting anybody. Hell, most of the time I don't even know what's in the packages. Just thought there might be something we could use. I found a pistol. Figured it would come in handy if those things came back. But you'll probably get more use out of it than we will.
Sakra. Počkat.
This should help. Let's move out.
Good luck.
Teď už asi vím, o co tady jde. Na co jsem si vzpomněl. Tady je totiž trik, myslím si. Teda pokud jsem to nikdy nezvoral, samozřejmě. Možná napřed musíme jít sem. Tady dostaneme body za ochranu.
Commander, it's Nihilus.
A potom bychom měli využít toho ochránce.
Something's moving over behind those crates.
Wait! Don't shoot! I'm one of you! I'm human!
Sneaking up on us like that nearly got you killed.
I am sorry, I was hiding from those creatures. My name's Powell. I saw what happened to that Turian. The other one shot him.
I need to know how Nihilus died.
The other one got here first. He was waiting when your friend showed up. He called him Saren. I think they knew each other. Your friend seemed to relax. He let his guard down. And Saren killed him. Shot him right in the back. I'm just lucky he didn't see me behind the crates.
Where'd Saren go after he killed Nihilus?
He jumped on the cargo train and headed over to the other platform. Probably going after the beacon. I knew that beacon was trouble. Everything's gone to hell since we found it. First that damn mothership showed up, then the attack. They killed everyone. Everyone. If I hadn't been behind the crates, I'd be dead too.
How come you're the only one who survived? Why didn't anyone else try to hide behind the crates?
They never had a chance. I was already behind the crates when the attack started.
Wait a minute. You were hiding behind the crates before the attack?
Sometimes I need a nap to get through my shift. I sneak off behind the crates to grab 40 winks where the supervisor can't find me.
You survived because you're lazy?
If you hadn't snuck off for that nap, you'd probably be dead just like all the others.
Yeah, I guess. I don't really want to think about it.
Tell me about the Geth
It
attack.
was quick. 1 minute that ship was descending, the next, they must have been inside that mothership.
Is there any...
Hard to believe that was only. Hard to
Yeah,
believe
teď
that was
zajímá.
only. And it was.
We need to find that
Take the.
beacon.
I can't.
Ne, nedostali jsme ochránce. To znamená, že jsem to někde zvoral. To znamená, že buď jsem někde vynechl nějaký dialog, nebo jsem to někde zvoral. Tým. Nám asi ještě jeden chybí, no. Takže jsem to někde zvoral. A to jsem to chtěl dělat. To mě mrzí, no.
Everybody stay calm.
We took care of them.
Those
Sakra,
things
to
were
jsem zase
crawling all
zvoral.
around. It showed up right before. Some guys.
What kind of
I found a
packages?
pistol. Good luck.
Je. Tady se ty body vážně cení, no. To mě mrzí, že jsem někde to zvoral. Naposledy jsem to hrál. To jsou legendární edice, jsem naposledy hrál asi tak před 2 rokama. Nebo tak nějak.
Everybody stay calm.
Is it
out
safe?
there.
Are they gone?
You're okay now.
Those things were crawling. It showed up right before the attack.
You don't know that.
We're just farmers. I was too.
Tell them
It was
about the
emitting
noise.
some kind of whatever it was. Felt like it was.
I have to go.
Hey, Cole, we're
Jeez, Blake, you gotta learn when to shut up.
You have something to tell me,
Some
Cole?
guys at the spaceport were running a small smuggling ring, nothing major. In exchange for a cut of the profits, we let them store packages in our sheds.
What kind of
I
packages?
found a pistol. Figured it would come in handy if those things came back.
Tady už to měli
You'll
mít to
probably get
modrý,
more
no.
use out of it than we will.
This should help.
Good
Let's
luck.
To jsem prostě zvoral, no. Ha. Dovednost, elektronika. Tým. Já jsem blbec, ano, tady to je. Aha, tak to jsem zvolil hned na začátku, no. Já to tam měl na áze, protože za to dostanete asi víc bodů a... Tak teď už je to asi v háji, no. To je šifrování. Tak. To jsem zvoral, no. Na to jsem se měl podívat hned na začátku, jak jsem tu hru zapnul. To už je po třetí, ne? Co tohle teď děláme?
Everybody stay calm out
Is it
there.
safe? Are they gone?
Those things were. It showed up right before the.
You don't know that.
Pojedeme.
We're just farmers.
Tell them
It
about
was
the
emitting
noise.
some kind. Whatever it was.
I have to go.
Hey, Cole.
Jeez, Blake, you got. Some guys at the spaceport. I found a pistol.
Já už to máme.
Figured it would come in handy if those things came back. But you'll probably get more use out of it than we will.
We're risking our lives to save this colony. You sure there's nothing else in here that could help us out?
Yeah, there's one more thing. I was gonna sell it after this was over, but you probably deserve it more than I do.
Who's your contact at the spaceport, Cole? What's his name?
He's not a bad guy. I don't want to get him in trouble. Besides, I'm not a snitch.
He might have something to do with this whole attack, Cole. We need his name. It's important.
Yeah, okay, you're right. His name's Powell. Works the docks at the spaceport if he's still alive.
I have to go.
Good luck.
Tak vidíte, tak se teď může... dostali jsme ty 4. Tak to vidíte. Tak co můžeme už? Nemůžeme. Takže to musíme mít asi jenom my. To je všifování týmy. Co zbraně? Tak teď nevím, jestli bychom neměli dělat i tohle. Protože dostaneme to víc peněz, když budeme prodávat věci. A peníze se tady asi hodně určitě hodí. Ale upřímně jsem zmatený tím, že nemůžeme tohle. Já jsem přece... Jsem myslel, že tamhle někdo je. To se mi jenom zdálo. A možná si to pletu prostě s dvojkou, no, že tam jste prostě mohli otevřít všechno.
Commander, it's Nihilus.
Všechno to sebereme. Tady budeme mít nový dialog.
Something's moving over behind.
Wait! Don't shoot! I'm one of you! I'm human!
Sneaking up on us like that nearly got...
My name's Powell. I saw what happened to that
I
Turian.
need to know how
The
Nihilus...
other... Your friend seemed to relax. He let us go.
We were told a Prothean beacon was brought to the spaceport. What
It's
happened?
over on the other platform. Probably where that guy Saren was headed. I knew that beacon was trouble. They killed everyone. Everyone. If I hadn't been behind the crates,
How
I'd be
come
dead.
you're the only one who survived?
They never had
Wait
a
a minute.
chance.
You were
I-
hiding behind...
You survived because you're lazy?
If you hadn't
Yeah.
snuck up...
Yeah, I guess. I don't
Your
really...
close contact here on the docks. For the smuggling ring.
What? No! I mean, what does it matter now? So I'm a smuggler, who cares? My supervisor's dead, the entire crew's dead. Doesn't matter now, does it?
Anything hidden nearby that we could use against the Geth?
A shipment of grenades came through last week. Nobody notices if a few small pieces go missing from the military orders.
You greedy son of a bitch. We're out here trying to protect your sorry ass, and all you can think about is how you can rip us off?
I never thought you'd actually need those grenades. Who'd want to attack Eden Prime? We're just a bunch of farmers. How was I supposed to know?
Forget about him. He's not worth it.
You're lucky the commander's here, pal. Hand over those grenades.
They're yours. Take them. My smuggling days are over, I swear.
A lot of Marines died here, Powell. Those grenades could have come in handy. If I were you, I'd think of some way to make it up to them.
Yeah, okay. There is something else I was saving. Could be worth a fortune. Experimental technology, top of the line. Take it. I don't need it. I didn't want anyone to get hurt. Really, I'm sorry.
Jo, to už jsme asi udělali všechno, že?
Tell me about the...
They must have been inside that... Hard to
to ještě
believe that was all.
projedeme?
And it was making this...
We need to
noise.
find that beacon before it's too late.
Take the cargo train. That's where the other Turian went. I can't stay here. I need to get away from all this.
No, takže se mi to nezdálo. Vyleze. No, tak mačkám R-ko a nic. Koupil jsem to. No, tak to jsem chtěl určitě. Jo, tohle už je to velké. tam. Tady. Jsem se nedíval, jsem byl zaměřený. Tady na tohle. To nevyleze. Mačkáme jako nic, protože tady je asi chlazení je automatický, takže nemůžete nic mačkat. To se to zrychlilo. Co tam kempí? A tu jeho hlavičku, OK. Tady jsme... Jo, to se tam můžete volat. Jo, tady. Tak nic. Já myslím, že tohle jsou to nějaké kontejnery. A že tam něco je, ale není. Tak jo.
Set the charges. Destroy the entire colony. Leave no evidence that we were here.
Sakra. Teď to máme na čas. Tak snad to nezvoru.
Take cover. Demolition charges. The Geth must have planted them.
Hurry! We need to find them all and shut them down.
Už vidím, jak to vodám pěkně. Asi bych se neměl dívat na nic ostatního. Sakra.
Shields disabled.
Fko? To Gčko. To se mi teda povedlo. Moc to se netrefím. Čekat. Pistole, útočná puška. Pistoli já používat nebudu, brokovníci taky ne. Já budu spíš jenom používat ty dvě věci. Takže bych to asi měl naházet do tohohle. Ale kde jsou ty schopnosti? Nebo já zadní ještě nemám. Měl bych mít ten warp? Ne, nebo jak se to jmenovalo. Já to chtěl dát sem jméno. Ještě si vezmu to ostřelací to. Pušku. A koukám, protože by se mohlo stát, že potom už se nemůžete. Já se like, že je to get. No to je Ash. Zdál se mi to, a myslím, že jsem... Jo, byl tam. Zdálo se mi to. A dík, že mi tam lezeš. Hotovo.
I owe you one.
Snad ne. To se mi nepovedlo. Tak. My to tady projedeme celý. Necháme tu koušček. Jsem tak blbost. Nenecháme tu kámen na kameni. To jsem chtěl říct. A řekl jsem blbost. A to je právě ten rozdíl v těch sluchátkách. Říct blbost a nedoříct slovo. Nevím, proč ten mikrofon to nesnímá nějak, ten můj hlas. A ne, nebudeme to klikat, budeme pěti daleko. Ale nevím, jestli to automaticky, jestli se k němu přiblížíme a hned se to tam objeví cutscenka, nebo... Jo. Jsem to tušil. Tak tohle je teda všechno. Ten běh, to je teda něco. Tak.
Normandy, the beacon is secure.
This is
Request
amazing.
immediate evac.
Actual working Prothean technology. Unbelievable.
It wasn't doing anything like that when they dug it up. Something must have activated it.
Roger, Normandy. Standing by.
Shepard!
No, don't touch him. Too dangerous.
Myslím si, že ty obrazy ve trojce už jsou trošičku víc vidět. Ale pořád jsem zmatený takový.
We identified the ship that touched down on Eden Prime. The Normandy. A human alliance vessel. It was under the command of Captain Anderson. They managed to save the colony.
And the beacon.
One of the humans may have used it.
This human must be eliminated.
Tady vidí, že ten Seran má už tu smrťáckou tu technologii v sobě, jako jo. A že to ostatním lidem tak jako nepřišlo trochu divný, že vypadá takhle.
Doctor! Dr. Chakwas, I think he's waking up.
You had us worried there, Shepard. How are you feeling?
Minor throbbing. Nothing serious. How long was I out?
About 15 hours. Something happened down there with the beacon, I think.
It's my fault. I must have triggered some kind of security field when I approached it. You had to push me out of the way.
You had no way to know what would happen.
Actually, we don't even know if that's what set it off. Unfortunately, we'll never get the chance to find out.
The beacon exploded. A system overload, maybe. The blast knocked you cold. The lieutenant and I carried you back here to the ship.
I appreciate it.
Physically, you're fine. But I detected some unusual brain activity. Abnormal beta waves. I also noticed an increase in your rapid eye movement. Signs typically associated with intense dreaming.
I saw... I'm not sure what I saw. Death? Destruction? Nothing's really clear.
I better add this to my report. It may... Oh, Captain Anderson.
How's our XO holding up, Doctor?
Well, all the readings look normal. I'd say the commander's going to be fine.
Glad to hear it. Shepard, I need to speak with you. In private.
Aye, aye, Captain. I'll be in the mess if you need me.
Sounds like that beacon hit you pretty hard, Commander. Are you sure you're okay?
I don't like soldiers dying under my command.
Jenkins wasn't your fault. You did a good job, Shepard.
Chief Williams isn't part of the Normandy crew.
I figured we could use a soldier like her. She's been reassigned to the Normandy.
Williams is a good soldier. She deserves it.
Lieutenant Alenko agrees with you. That's why I added her to our crew.
Intel dropped the ball, sir. We had no idea what we were walking into down there. That's why things went to hell.
The Geth haven't been outside the Veil in 2 centuries, Commander. Nobody could have predicted this.
You said you needed to see me in private, Captain?
I won't lie to you, Shepard. Things look bad. Nihilus is dead. The beacon was destroyed and Geth are invading. The Council's going to want answers.
I didn't do anything wrong, Captain. Hopefully the Council can see that.
I'll stand behind you and your report, Shepard. You're a damned hero in my books. That's not why I'm here. It's Saren, that other Turian. Saren's a Spectre, one of the best. A living legend. But if he's working with the Geth, it means he's gone rogue. A rogue Spectre's trouble. Saren's dangerous, and he hates humans.
Why?
He thinks we're growing too fast, taking over the galaxy. A lot of aliens think that way. Most of them don't do anything about it. But Saren has allied himself with the Geth. I don't know how, I don't know why. I only know it had something to do with that beacon. You were there just before that beacon self-destructed. Did you see anything? Any clue that might tell us what Saren was after?
Just before I lost consciousness, I had some kind of vision.
A vision? A vision of what?
Optimista.
I saw synthetics. Geth, maybe. Slaughtering people. Butchering them.
We need to report this to the Council, Shepard.
Jo, tak my to radu ani neznáme, že tak.
What are we gonna tell him? I had a bad dream?
Nic.
We don't know what information was stored in that beacon. Lost Prothean technology? Blueprints for some ancient weapon of mass destruction? Whatever it was. Saren took it. But I know Saren. I know his reputation is politics. He believes humans are a blight on the galaxy. This attack was an act of war. He has the secrets from the beacon. He has an army of Geth at his command, and he won't stop until he's wiped humanity from the face of the galaxy.
I'll find some way to take him down.
It's not that easy. He's a Spectre. He can go anywhere, do almost anything. That's why we need the Council on our side.
Taky by jde tohleto. On to jasný, že budou na jeho straně, no.
We prove Saren's gone rogue, and the Council will revoke his Spectre status.
I'll contact the ambassador. and see if he can get us an audience with the Council. He'll want to see us as soon as we reach the Citadel. We should be getting close. Head up to the bridge and tell Joker to bring us into dock.
OK. Já se podívám, jak dlouho nahráváme. No, tak asi tam ještě dojedeme na tu citadelu a tam to asi ukončím. My prolezeme celou loď. Všechno odklikáme.
Hey, Commander.
A pokecáme s posádkou.
I'm glad you're okay, Commander. The crew could use some good news after what happened to Jenkins.
Jenkins was a valuable part of this crew.
Part of me feels guilty over what happened. If Jenkins was still alive, I might not be here.
You're a good soldier, Williams. You belong on the Normandy.
Thanks, Commander. That means a lot from you. I've never met anyone who was awarded the Star of Terra.
Things were pretty rough down there. Are you okay?
I've seen friends die before. Comes with being a Marine. But to see my whole unit wiped out, and you never get used to seeing dead civilians. But things would have been a lot worse if you hadn't shown up.
We couldn't have done it without you, Williams.
Thanks, Commander. I have to admit, I was a little worried about being assigned to the Normandy. It's nice when someone makes you feel welcome.
Shepard se mi zdá, že teď prostě tu Ash maže med kolem huby, ale OK.
I think you're gonna fit in here just fine, Williams.
Thanks, Commander.
Ale my chceme toho ochránce, tak...
Yes, Commander? Is there something you need?
How did you end up serving on an Alliance ship?
I enlisted right out of med school. Earth always seemed boring to me. Too safe, too secure. I figured the colonies were teeming with exotic adventure. I wanted to travel the stars, tending the wounds of tough soldiers with piercing eyes and sensitive souls. Turns out military life isn't quite as romantic as I'd imagined. But humanity needs the Alliance if we want to keep expanding through the Traverse, and the Alliance always needs good doctors. So I stayed on to do my part.
Ever think you made the wrong choice?
Sometimes I think about opening a private practice back on Earth, or maybe taking a position at one of the new med centers out in the colonies. But there's something special about working on soldiers. If I left the Alliance now, I'd feel like I was abandoning them.
What do you know about Captain Anderson?
I've served with him for a few tours now. He knows when to let things slide and when to crack the whip. The crew knows he's seen pretty much anything they'll ever run into. And he cares about the people under his command.
How well do you know the lieutenant?
I'd never worked with him before this mission. But he has an impressive service record, over a dozen special commendations. Tends to keep to himself, though. Maybe because of the headaches. It's not easy being an L2.
What does that have to do with it?
Well, most biotics now use the L3 implants. Lieutenant Alenko was wired with the old L2 configuration. Sometimes there are complications.
What kind of complications?
Severe mental disabilities, insanity, crippling physical pain. There's a long list of horrific side effects. Caden's lucky. He just gets migraines.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
I should go.
Glad to see you're okay, Commander.
Nic. Čekám si, že si mi zakecám. Nebo spíš pokecám. Třeba o tom Jenkinsovi a ono nic.
Go speak to Joker when you're ready. Tell him to bring the Normandy into dock.
OK, tak teď víme, že musíme jít za tím Jokerem. Přísahal bych, že tady by se měla objevit taky ta ikonka. Ale to asi až v průběhu mise. Nebo spíš v průběhu příběhu. A? Co to? Toho jsem se nevšiml. Tak, tady jsme si už projeli všechno. Ještě dolů. Já vám asi řeknu, průběhu, co jsou mý oblíbené postavy. Ale myslím, že to poznáte asi sami. Jo, tady upravujeme ty lidi. Nebudu lhát, já jsem si to nečet. Já to tam nechal, abyste si to přečetli vy. Čekat, co moje? Čekat. Výstroj, tady. Nepoužívám lakra, nebo jak se jmenuje. Tak ten nemám. Kroganaturian. Si v posádce šelmě nemáme. Já radši projedu opravdu úplně všechno.
Hey, Commander. Looking for some extra supplies before you head out?
What have you got?
Whatever you want. Armor, weapons, mods. It's not standard Alliance issue, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Well, as long as you don't mind paying for it.
Why should I pay you for my weapons and armor?
My stuff doesn't come from the Alliance. I have to purchase it myself, and it's not cheap. Hell, the licenses alone have set me back more than I'd like. But no licenses, no goods. Without the goods, I'm out of a job.
Let's see what you've got.
You bet, Commander.
Těžká zbroj. Lehká. No, tady nevím, v čem bude rozdíl, to se potom budu muset nějak přečíst. Rokovnice, pistole, unikáti, no, to se si koupíme. Ne, teď to ještě nebudu prodávat. Já jsem to chtěl vyzkoušet. Ale můžu to vyzkoušet tady už s váma klidně, že jo, tak. Užit. Tak.
Looking for supplies?
Let's see what you've got.
You bet, Commander.
Prodat. Prodáme brokovnici za 262. Teď dáme zastrašování.
Looking for supplies?
Let's see what you've got.
You bet, Commander.
Prodat. Za 262. To stejný. Prodat. Tak. Asi ne. To bude asi někde u těch rozhovorů. Ty ceny. Tak, OK.
Looking for supplies?
How often will you get new items?
Well, that depends on how many licenses you've purchased. But I'll rotate items on a regular basis regardless. And anytime we land someplace with a big enough port, I'll buy, sell, and trade whatever I can. Check back often. I need to move items quickly, so only the most basic items will be stocked consistently.
What are licenses? Why do you need them?
Manufacturers sell licenses. Each license allows me to buy and sell a certain brand of products. I already have several basic ones, but you'll need to buy more if you want me to bring in different brands. Many of the best licenses are hard to get, but they're well worth the cost if you can find them.
What do the different manufacturers offer?
There are too many for me to keep track of, but each license will explain what it's good for.
Jo, ale mi neřekne, kde je mám koupit,
Not right
kde
now,
mám sebrat.
thanks.
No problem. Keep
To mi
checking
tady
back.
moc nepomohl. No to se asi někdy dozvíme.
Shame about Jenkins, Commander.
Tady. Tak podpalubí teda už máme. Jo, tady.
I'm glad you're okay, Commander. Losing Jenkins was hard enough on the crew.
Ten kodex vám asi teda můžu ukázat až ke konci hry. Jestli budete chtít. Jo, já zapomněl, já to pletu s dvojkou.
Good timing, Commander. I was just about to bring us into the Citadel. See that taxpayer money at work.
Doufám, že ten můj hlas je v pořádku. Ale ještě se na to budu muset podívat. Teď tam vadilo to šumění takový. Ta se to trochu ubral.
Look at the size of that ship.
Doufám, že mě slyšet.
Flagship of the Citadel fleet.
Well, size isn't everything.
Why so touchy, Joker?
I'm just saying you need firepower, too.
Look at that monster. Its main gun could rip through the barriers in any ship in the Alliance fleet.
Good thing it's on our side, then.
Citadel Control, this is SSV Normandy, requesting permission to land.
Stand by for clearance, Normandy. Clearance granted. You may begin your approach. Transferring you to an Alliance operator.
Roger, Alliance Tower. Normandy out.
Normandy, this is Alliance Tower. Please proceed to Dock 422.
Já jsem si teď udělal brouka do hlavy. Víte, jak jsme teď byli na tom můstku, jak jsme šli okolo a tam byla ta mapa. A bylo vidět, že na ní můžu kliknout. Tak já se teď bojím, jestli jsme náhodou nepřišli o ten kodex. Zřejmě, že poletíme to.
This is an outrage! The Council would step in if the Geth attacked a Turian colony?
The Turians don't found colonies on the borders of the Terminus systems, Ambassador.
Humanity was well aware of the risks when you went into the Traverse.
What about Saren? You can't just ignore a rogue Spectre. I demand action!
You don't get to make demands of the Council, Ambassador.
Citadel Security is investigating your charges against Saren. We will discuss the CSEC findings at the hearing, not before.
Oni koukají na lidi z povrchu.
Captain Anderson, I see you brought half your crew with you.
Just the ground team from Eden Prime, in case you had any questions.
I have the mission reports. I assume they're accurate?
They are. Sounds like you convinced the Council to give us an audience.
They were not happy about it. Saren's their top agent. They don't like him being accused of treason.
Tak toho vyslance, toho Udinio, nemám rád. Je to kokot. Co jsem to chtěl ještě říct, jo, že oni ty všechny ostatní rasy na lidi koukají z vysoka, no. Jestli to říkám správně, no.
Saren's a threat to every human colony out there. He needs to be stopped. The Council has to listen to us.
Settle down, Commander. You've already done more than enough to jeopardize your candidacy for the Spectres. The mission on Eden Prime was a chance to prove you could get the job done. Instead, Nihilus ended up dead and the beacon was destroyed.
That's Saren's fault, not his.
Then we better hope the CSEC investigation turns up evidence to support our accusations. Otherwise, the Council might use this as an excuse to keep you out of the Spectres. Come with me, Captain. I want to go over a few things before the hearing. Shepard, you and the others can meet us at the Citadel Tower, top level. I'll make sure you have clearance to get in.
And that's why I hate politicians.
Ono je přesně strašně těžký vědět, která ta odpověď dostane karmu. Protože občas máte z toho chutí taky říct něco. Ale bojíte se, že dostanete špatnou karmu, no, když hrajete na toho dobráka. To mi přijde jako trošičku jakoby mezera, no. S tou hrou. Že nemůžete tak volně si říkat, co chcete. Já občas si budu číst ty věci. Takže se omlouvám, že to bude chvíli trvat.
This is serious. My reputation is at stake. I spoke with the... Hello there, human. Sincere apology, but I am here on business and cannot be distracted right now.
You seem distressed. Is there something I can do to help?
Alarmed response. You overheard that, did you? This is all going so wrong, and it is the Asari consort's fault. She's the one who started all this.
What did this Asari do to get you so upset?
I cannot speak more about this problem. It is too sensitive. Suffice it to say, she has compromised my authority as a diplomat.
Where can I find this Asari consort?
She is across the bridge from here. Her offices are easy enough to spot. Good day, human.
Oni chodí po 4. A kdybych chodili po 2. Tak si myslím, že by bylo hodně velký namakaných cápcí, co by vám jednu vrazili a vy by si už leželi.
EarthClan, you are in the wrong place, I think. Your ambassador is next door in the large office.
Chastising remark. Don't be so rude, Den. At least introduce yourself.
I am Din Korlak, Volus ambassador. Is there something I can do for you, EarthClan?
What is this place?
You are in the embassy for the Volus and the Elcor.
Your ambassador is next door, in his own office.
In this shared space, I aid my fellow Volus when I'm not being interrupted.
I'd like to know more about the Volus.
I'm sure our history and culture would bore you, EarthClan.
Actually, I would like to know more about your history.
My people came to the Citadel shortly after the Asari and Solarians had discovered it. We were instrumental in establishing a standardized galactic economy. However, despite our long association with the Citadel and our many contributions to galactic society, we still do not hold a seat on the Council.
Tell me about Volus culture.
We are tribal by nature, but our ways are not violent. We barter and trade our lands and tribe members in order to increase status. Larger tribes often engulf smaller ones and eventually split again. Our society is very malleable, and our government is always shifting and changing. Since we're not physically adept, we trade our services for protection.
What is it you do here?
I look out for the best interests of the Volus people. No easy task considering how often we are overlooked by the Council.
Chastising rebuke, Din. The Council favors your species greatly.
You are naive. The Earth Clan will be invited to the Council long before our species will.
Oni na ně taky koukají z vrchu, no.
Why aren't the Volus or Elcor part of the Council?
All species must prove themselves before they join the Council. All but the Earth Clans, it would seem.
Dismissive. Ignore the Volus ambassador, human. He is incorrect in his assessment.
Really? How long have we been waiting? How long do you think we'll continue to wait? Bah, this talk is wasted on the humans.
You seem to have a bit of a chip on your shoulder, Din.
You humans are new to the Citadel, and yet the Council has granted you great favor.
Chastising rebuke, Din. Your species has always been granted many concessions. Volus territory has expanded tenfold since coming to the Citadel.
Details. We still have no real say in the decisions that affect Citadel space.
Goodbye, Ambassador.
No, to tady říkají, no, že
yes.
lidská rasa je spíš taková ta dominantní, že se snažíme spíš obsadit a rozhodně se po celém tom vesmíru, no. Nebo jak se to jmenuje, po mlečné dráze. Ne, tak to jmenuju. No, tak sem si nemůžeme, tak nic.
Welcome to the Presidium. Allow me.
Good day, Commander. The human ambassador is up the stairs, first room on the right.
You know who I am?
Yes, I receive reports on all newly arrived dignitaries and notable people.
What is this place?
This is the Presidium. More specifically, you are at the Citadel embassies. If you have more questions, please access Avina.
What's that?
Oh, Avina is the virtual guide for the Citadel. Feel free to access the terminal yourself.
What's your name? What do you do here?
My name is Safiria. I'm the administrative assistant for the embassies.
You seem to be distracted.
The embassies are the hub of all Citadel politics. When you represent trillions of citizens, it tends to get a little busy.
I should be going now.
Have a pleasant day.
Welcome to the Presidium. Allow me to be your guide. Greetings and welcome to the Presidium. My name is Avina, and I am pleased to be your virtual guide throughout this level of the Citadel space station.
So are you a person or a program?
I am a fully interactive virtual intelligence, programmed to provide spontaneous guidance at predetermined locations of interest throughout this level of the Citadel. I may also be contacted through any of the Presidium VI terminals, should you require assistance.
Give me the tour.
You are standing at Presidium Tourism Terminal 1. On either side of this lobby are the embassies of the various Citadel races, along with CSEC headquarters. On the far end of this level, you can see the Citadel Tower, where the Council meets regularly to discuss matters of interstellar importance.
I want to know more about Citadel security.
Citadel security serves as law enforcement for all regions of the Citadel, though the majority of officers serve in the wards. Executor Palin, a Turian, is the current head of CSEC, but individuals from virtually every species across Citadel space serve as officers beneath him. If you wish to learn more, Executor Palin's office is located in the CSEC headquarters just across the lobby.
Tell me about the embassies.
Each species in Citadel space important enough to be consulted on matters of galactic politics maintains an embassy on the Presidium. The Volus were the first non-council species to be granted an embassy, roughly 2,384 galactic standard years ago. As Citadel space has expanded, more embassies have been added. The most recently added embassy belongs to your own species, humanity. It was added 19 galactic standard years ago, despite some rather vocal opposition.
Why were people trying to keep my species out?
Some species felt humanity was given preferential treatment. It often takes a century or more before a new species is granted an embassy. The Council gave a great deal of thought to this matter. In the end, they decided humanity's impact on Citadel space was significant enough to warrant an embassy.
Do you agree with their decision?
I am not programmed to make that kind of qualified judgment. My code is limited to information and simple interaction simulations.
How come the Volus were the first species given an embassy?
In the early years following the formation of the Council, the Volus were, apart from the Asari and Solarians, the most populous and widespread species in Citadel space. They established many new colonies and trading outposts, and they petitioned the Council for a greater role in determining interstellar policy. In recognition of their work to expand interstellar trade and establish a standardized galactic economy, the Volus were granted an embassy here on the Citadel.
Why weren't they made a council race?
The Council races have extensive responsibilities. They must provide personnel and ships for the Citadel fleets. They often provide economic aid in times of disaster. It would be unfair to demand such an enormous burden of a species unable to meet these obligations. The embassies allow lesser species to have a voice on the Citadel.
That's pretty damn arrogant.
I apologize if my personality has offended you. Please submit all formal complaints in writing to the Citadel Tourist and Visitor Board.
Do you know anything about specters?
The term Spectre is derived from the branch of Special Tactics and Reconnaissance. Each Spectre agent is handpicked by the Council. Their primary role is preserving galactic stability and resolving volatile situations that cannot be handled through normal political channels. In this role, they are granted extraterritorial rights and jurisdictions. Spectres answer to no law or authority except the Council itself.
Můžu si v podstatě dělat, co chtějí, no.
What can you tell me about the Citadel Council?
Originally, the Council consisted of representatives from the Asari and Solarians, the two dominant species in Citadel space. Roughly 1,304 galactic standard years ago, Turians were invited to join the Council in recognition of the role they played during the Krogan Rebellion. Since then, the three Council races have worked together to ensure the peaceful coexistence of the galactic community, while preserving individual autonomy for each species.
It can't be as simple as that. There must be problems somewhere in the system.
I am not programmed to make that kind of qualified judgment. My code is limited to
Goodbye.
information. Goodbye, and thank you for using Avina. Please enjoy your visit to the Citadel.
Myslím, že tady by měl být asi nějaký bar. Bez takovýho.
I can't believe I landed a job here. This place is fantastic.
Human, delighted, welcome. It is good to meet you.
Commander Shepard, I didn't expect to see you here. Did Ambassador Udina send you?
Have we met before?
No, but I know you well enough. I'm Executor Palin, head of CSEC. It's my job to know when someone like you arrives on the Citadel. Was there something you needed, Commander?
Z jakého důvodu, teď ještě nejsem nic.
I get the feeling you're not too fond of humans.
No, I just don't trust your kind. Not yet. You humans are eager to take all the power you can get, and you're being given a lot. If the Council wants to make humanity their new favorite pet, that's their business. But I don't have to like it.
The Council treats us like second-class citizens. We have to fight for everything we get.
Good. Then fight for it. But don't expect the rest of us to just sit back and let you take it. I'm a busy man, Commander. Are we done here?
What do you know about the Spectres?
They're the right hand of the Council, or so they like to be called. More like the underhanded side of the Council.
What do you have against the Spectres?
I can't abide any organization that considers itself above the law. Especially when it's left up to each individual Spectre to decide when and how to bend the rules.
Tady si dostal špatnou karmu.
Sometimes you have to bend the law to keep people safe.
I've been with CSEC for 30 years. I've never had to break the law to do my job, not once.
Yeah, right. You expect us to believe none of your officers are corrupt?
There are over 200,000 CSEC agents. Some of them are going to be bad. But we don't turn a blind eye to corruption like the Spectres do. We do our best to find and punish any officer who breaks the law. Spectres. They'll never come under that kind of scrutiny.
Já si myslím, že spektry jsou docela důležitý, ale když je potom skorupovaná, tak to jste potom v háji, no.
The galaxy needs people like that. People who do the dirty jobs.
I agree. But they need to be held to a higher standard. They need to be accountable. Saren's out of control. We both know that. But because he's a Spectre, the Council doesn't want to do anything about it. Is that the kind of person this galaxy needs?
No.
But not all Spectres are like Saren.
True. But the potential is always there.
Tell me about CSEC.
CSEC provides necessary police and security services throughout the Citadel. We're a civilian government agency, though many of our members have had military training. Of course, as the CSEC representative to the Council, I spend most of my time liaising between the two.
Tell me about your investigation into Saren.
Sorry, Commander. I don't make a habit of giving out details about ongoing investigations.
I'll be going now.
Goodbye, Commander.
Čekat. Je tady jeden trik. No ne trik, ale spíš... Můžete jim koupit pivo a
What do you
nemusíte.
want? Oh, Commander. Is there something I can do for you?
Relax, Private. This isn't an inspection.
Right, sorry. What can I do for you, Commander?
What can you tell me about the Asari consort?
Well, she's an Asari who works here as... That is, she helps people with things.
You never went to see her, did you, Fredericks?
No, I never did. I couldn't afford it. It costs half a year's credits just to go in and talk to her.
Can you at least tell me where I can find her?
Sure. She's across the bridge from the embassies.
Thanks, kid. Have fun. Try not to get into too much trouble.
I will. Have fun, that is. Commander, good to see you again.
Aha, tak nic. Tak já si zase pletu... Asi s jiným dílem. To byla asi trojka, tam jste asi měli koupit pivo. Jsem celý pomatený.
I don't have time to talk now. I'm very busy.
To víš, jo.
Hello, Commander. Can I get you something?
What have you got?
Information, mostly. Would you like to know about some points of interest nearby?
What's going on around here?
Well, you found the embassies, not much going on here. Across the bridge, you'll find the bank, the Emporium, and Shaira's. If you haven't heard of her, you soon will. If you need supplies, you can try the markets one level below. For entertainment, I'd try Flux or Cora's Den.
What is Shaira's?
The consort? She entertains clients who can afford her services. Most of the diplomats and ambassadors have visited her at one time or another. She's a very powerful woman, but also very respected.
Tell me about Flux and Cora's Den.
Well, Flux has gambling and dancing, certainly more lively than this place. Cora's Den, on the other hand, well, let's just say it's livelier and deadlier, all at the same time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
So long, Commander. Have a pleasant day.
Jo, tohle jsou správci, jestli se nepletu. Tak nějak se jmenujou. Správci určitě.
Big place.
Tohle zase mám v angličtině. Já nevím, jestli máme jít rovnou za tu misí, nebo tady takhle prskomávat to. Oblast. Ne, to není on. Nebo je. Možná jenom podobnej. Ne, to nebude on. No. Jsme daleko za moc nedošli.
That's nothing. I've had my office rearranged 5 times now.
5 times? But why? What do they want?
How should I know? It's not like keepers offer an explanation for what they're doing.
And yet, everyone just lets them go on doing whatever it is they do.
What choice do we have? If you try to stop them, they just shut down and another one replaces it.
Just strange that we know so little about them.
Not to mention frustrating.
Jo, teď tady mluvili o tom správci, takže se mi opravdu jmenují jsou správci, no. Je opravdu zajímavý, že... Představte si, že přijdete domů a tam máte nějakého člověka a když se ho pokusíte zastavit, tak ho nahradí nějaký jiný člověk. A vy to necháte být, protože se nahradil jiný. A oni prostě nechávají dělat si, co chtějí, prostě. Je to divný, podle mě. Tak to jsou obchody.
Ah, human. This one is greatly pleased to see you here in my decadent...
I should be going.
As you wish. Do return when you are able.
Baramon.
What's this? One of the Earth Clan. Ah, a very famous one, yes? You are the one called Shepherd. It is a great honor to welcome the heroes of the Blitz.
You've got me at a disadvantage here.
Forgive me, Earth Clan. My name is Barla Vaughn. My job makes it necessary for me to keep informed. I am a financial advisor to many important clients here on the Citadel. When someone as important as yourself arrives on the station, I take notice.
Tell me more about your job.
Galactic finance is incredibly complex. A mix of laws and regulations from dozens of interstellar economies. I'm an expert in how all these economies interact. For a fee, I share my expertise. I also offer premium services for those clients who need someone to conduct business without drawing unwanted attention. Discreet and efficient. That's my motto.
Jo, on dělá vlastně v podsvětí,
Sounds
no.
pretty shady.
Takového prostředníka, asi se nepletu.
Everything I do falls completely within the bounds of interstellar commerce law. Even so, many of my clients would prefer their transactions remain undisclosed. For example, suppose a Hanar ambassador was petitioning the council to reduce tariffs on Hanar goods. How would it look if he had money invested in a Hanar exporting company? Even if his true motives were to help his people, he would be accused of advancing the petition for his own personal gain. I can keep his personal finances private.
What's it like living here on the Citadel?
The station is without a doubt the greatest wonder in the galaxy. It is a technological marvel, but its true splendor goes much deeper than the hull and engines. From the Presidium to the wards, the entire station is a testament to the success of the Council. All the species of Citadel spaced together in a single strong community.
What makes the Presidium so special?
It is the political center of Citadel space. 80% of all intelligent species in the known galaxy acknowledge the Council's authority on interstellar matters. But only the most powerful and influential species have embassies here on the Presidium. This level of the station is reserved for the elite, Shepard. People like us.
What are the wards like?
The cultural heart of the galaxy. They pulse with the lifeblood of millions of citizens from dozens of different species. You never know what you'll find down in the wards, Commander. It's always full of surprises. Fortunately, most of them are pleasant.
Tell me.
I also offer even if his true motive...
Still sounds shady to me.
Then we can only hope you will never be cursed with a large enough fortune to require my services.
No, ve skutečnosti já doufám, že budeme mít hodně peněz.
I should go.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Vím, že jsem se dostal na seznam těch spekter, ale pořád si nemyslím, že je nějaký důvod o tom, aby o mě lidi nějak věděli. Jsem jenom na té kandidátce, nebo jak se to jmenuje. Jo, kdybych náhodou tu pozici najednou dostal, tak to bych pochopil, že by o mě lidi najednou začali jako mluvit, ale... Jenom, že jsem na to seznamu, ještě nic přece neznamená.
Look at that bug thing over there. What's it doing?
Please do not disturb the keepers. Please do not disturb the keepers. Please do... Welcome to your... The keepers are essential to the smooth operation of the Citadel.
Tell me about the relay monument.
Discovered by the Asari who first arrived at the Citadel, the relay monument is one of the station's most interesting and controversial features. What is the meaning behind this striking piece of art? Is it a tribute to Prothean vanity? A reminder of their conquest of the galaxy through mass relay technology? Or perhaps it is a symbol of unity, a Prothean acknowledgement that the relays would eventually lead other species here to the Citadel. No one can say for sure, making the relay monument a favorite topic of discussion among academics and scholars.
Tell me about the Citadel Tower.
Housing both the council chambers and Citadel control, the tower is one of the most important buildings on the station. Access to these areas is restricted to those with the appropriate clearance.
What happens in Citadel Control?
Citadel Control handles all incoming and outbound transit. Every ship within 2,000 kilometers of the Citadel is under the jurisdiction of Citadel Control. At peak capacity, they are responsible for monitoring upwards of 1,000 vessels.
I'd like to hear more about the Council Chambers.
The business of the Council, which often has far-reaching effects on the galactic community, is conducted in a room at the apex of the Citadel Tower. The Council Chambers themselves are truly a magnificent sight to behold, though few get to experience the view in person. Typically, only the councilors, ambassadors, and high-ranking officials, along with various support staff, are allowed access.
What if someone has business with the Council?
The average citizen must go through the proper channels if they wish an audience with the Council. This is usually arranged through their respective ambassadors. Even then, few are given access to the actual council chambers. In most cases, the ambassador acts on behalf of the citizen.
I'm scheduled to have an audience with the Council.
Only a handful of visitors to the Citadel are ever granted that privilege. I would be jealous, but that is outside the scope of my programming.
What happens in Citadel Control?
Citadel Control. At peak capacity, they are responsible for monitoring...
I'd like to know more about the Keepers.
Little is known about these peaceful servants of the Citadel, though they are essential to the operation and maintenance of the entire station. Citadel regulations protect the Keepers against interference during the performance of their tasks. Failure to comply will result in harsh penalties. Keepers can be seen in all sections of the Citadel, but are typically found in and around the tower.
Any particular reason there are so many keepers in this area?
The Keepers do not communicate with other species. It is assumed, however, that the tower houses the Citadel's primary control systems. Many of the station's systems, such as navigation and life support, function automatically. It is believed the Keepers operate those systems from inside the tower's inaccessible core. The Keepers also make frequent appearances in the Council chamber itself, though they appear to be just passing through on their way to some other destination.
Tohle myslím je furt přijde takový...
That's all for now.
Thank you for using Avina. Please do not disturb the Keepers. Please do not disturb the Keepers. Please do not disturb the Keepers.
Nic víc? Tak fajn. Já prostě nevím, ale... Oni je považují spíš za nějaké roboty, nebo já nevím. Co se starají o tu věž, nebo citadelu. Aha, tak tam ještě nemůžeme. No, já bych to tady ukončil, no. Tak my si tam zaletíme a pokecáme s lidma. A myslím si, že tam to asi utipnu. Ještě vím, že nemůže běhat pořádně. Že se unaví. Čekat, X to asi jenom ona. Takové společnice, přístup do čtvrti, věž citadely. Já, tady je.
Saren's hiding something. Give me more time. Stall them.
Stall the council? Don't be ridiculous. Your investigation is over, Garrus.
Commander Shepard, Garrus Vicarian. I was the officer in charge of the CSEC investigation into Saren.
Sounds like you really want to bring him down.
I don't trust him. Something about him rubs me the wrong way. But he's a Spectre. Everything he touches is classified. I can't find any hard evidence.
I think the Council's ready for us, Commander.
Good luck, Shepard. Maybe they'll listen to you.
Tak tady vidíte moju první oblíbenou postavu.
You don't want to keep the Council waiting.
No vlastně jo, chci.
You don't want to keep the Council waiting.
Docela upřímně mi víte u čeho. Garus. Stejně to asi vyslovuju zase špatně. Čekat. Myslím si jistě, a tady někde asi něco, možná něco mělo být.
No, I'm waiting to speak. Commander?
Nechce se mnou
No,
mluvit.
Commander.
Čekat, je tu mapa? Tady je mapa. Tak my můžeme jenom takhle.
I bet all these staircases aren't just for show. They make for good defensive positions if this place is ever attacked.
O tom radši nebudeme mluvit.
The hearing's already started. Come on.
The Geth attack is a matter of some concern, but there is nothing to indicate Saren was involved in any way.
The investigation by Citadel Security turned up no evidence to support your charge of treason.
An eyewitness saw him kill Nihilus in cold blood.
We've read the Eden Prime reports, Ambassador. The testimony of one traumatized dock worker is hardly compelling proof.
I resent these accusations. Nihilus was a fellow Spectre and a friend.
That just let you catch him off guard.
Captain Anderson, you always seem to be involved when humanity makes false charges against me. And this must be your protege, Commander Shepard, the one who let the beacon get destroyed.
Jako chápu, že by mohl ten člověk být zmatený, ten svědek. Ale jak by ten svědek mohl asi znát to jeho jméno, ne? Když ho určitě v životě nikdy neviděl.
The mission to Eden Prime was top secret. The only way you could know about the beacon was if you were there.
With Nihilus gone, his files passed on to me. I read the Eden Prime report. I was unimpressed. But what can you expect from a human?
Saren despises humanity. That's why he attacked Eden Prime.
Your species needs to learn its place, Shepard. You're not ready to join the Council. You're not even ready to join the Spectres.
He has no right to say that. That's not his decision.
Shepard's admission into the Spectres is not the purpose of this meeting.
This meeting has no purpose. The humans are wasting your time, Counselor, and mine.
Tady upřímně bych řekl spíš, já ten důkaz najdu, než přestaň toho zastrašovat. Ježiši, přestaňte si ho zastávat. Já nevím. Protože tohle mi spíš přijde jakoby napůl urážka, jo. Ale já vám důkaz najdu, to už je něco jiného. Takže já bych spíš radši dal tohleto, než tohleto, ale jak říkám, tady je ta karma a dobrá karma je vždycky jenom nahoře. Já nevím, co bych teď měl dát. A tak dáme tohle.
You can't hide behind the Council forever.
There is still one outstanding issue. Commander Shepard's vision. It may have been triggered by the beacon.
Are we allowing dreams into evidence now? How can I defend my innocence against this kind of testimony?
I agree. Our judgment must be based on facts and evidence, not wild imaginings and reckless speculation.
Do you have anything else to add, Commander Shepard?
Já nechci jen říkat, ale tady zase musím být na straně té rady. Protože opravdu nemůžete se spolehnout na nějaký sny. Nebo vize. Když ani nevíte, o co přesně šlo s tím majákem.
You've made your decision. I won't waste my breath.
Nope.
The Council has found no evidence of any connection between Saren and the Geth. Ambassador, your petition to have him disbarred from the Spectres is denied.
I'm glad to see justice was served.
This meeting is adjourned.
Kouká, jako kdyby mi spadly hračky do kanálu.
It was a mistake bringing you into that hearing, Captain. You and Saren have too much history. It made the Council question our motives.
I know Saren. He's working with the Geth for one reason. To exterminate the entire human race. Every colony we have is at risk. Every world we control is in danger. Even Earth isn't safe.
We need to deal with Saren ourselves.
As a Spectre, he's virtually untouchable. We need to find some way to expose him.
What about Garrus, that CSEC investigator? We saw him arguing with the Executor.
That's right. He was asking for more time to finish his report. Seems like he was close to finding something on Saren.
Tady si můžete zahrát ještě na kokota. No, vlastně ne kokota. Jste to ještě ani neviděli, ale...
Any idea where we could find him?
I have a contact in CSEC who can help us track Garrus down. His name is Harkin.
Forget it. They suspended Harkin last month, drinking on the job. I won't waste my time with that loser.
You won't have to. I don't want the Council using your past history with Saren as an excuse to ignore anything we turn up. Shepard will handle this.
You can't just cut Captain Anderson out of this investigation.
The ambassador's right. I need to step aside.
I need to take care of some business. Captain, meet me in my office later.
Harkin's probably getting drunk at Cora's Den. It's a dingy little club in the lower section of the wards.
Maybe there's another way to find evidence against Saren.
You should talk to Barla Vaughn over in the financial district. Rumor has it he's an agent for the Shadow Broker.
The Shadow Broker?
An information dealer. Buys and sells secrets to the highest bidder. I've heard Barla Vaughn's one of the top representatives. He might know something about Saren, but his information won't come cheap.
You and Saren have a history. What happened?
About 20 years ago, I was part of a mission in the Skillian Verge. I was working with Saren to find and remove a known terrorist threat. Saren eliminated his target, but a lot of people died along the way, innocent people. And the official records just covered it all up. But I saw how he operates. No conscience, no hesitation. He'd kill 1,000 innocent civilians to end a war without a second thought.
Killing innocents doesn't end wars, it causes them.
I know how the world works, Commander. Sometimes you're forced to make unpleasant decisions, but only if there's no other way. Saren doesn't even look for another option. He's twisted, broken. He likes the violence, the killing. And he knows how to cover his tracks.
Our ambassador doesn't seem to get along with the Council.
He's just frustrated. The Council's always preaching that we need to be part of the galactic community. But for them, it's a one-way street. They want us to expand and settle unstable regions like the Skillian Verge and the Attican Traverse. But when we run into trouble, they don't want to help us out. Everyone knows it's only a matter of time until we get a seat on the Council. The ambassador just thinks it should happen sooner rather than later. And I agree.
No, nechci říkat, ale lidi by se měli umět sami o sebe postarat. Neměli by být závislí na těch ostatních rasách. A zvlášť, když chtějí být dominantní, by se dalo říct ty lidi. Co si budeme, že jo?
Maybe they'd let us join the Council if we were more willing to cooperate with the other species.
Of course they would. If we did everything they told us to, they'd love to have us on the Council. But it wouldn't be much of a deal for us. I understand their side. They don't want us dominating the Council. It's founded on cooperation and alliances. But we have to look out for our own interests too.
To je právě o to, když mluvím, no.
You don't think much of Harkin.
The guy joined CSEC about 20 years ago. He's been an embarrassment to our species ever since. Roughing up suspects in custody, bribery accusations, alcohol and drug use. The embassy used to step in when he got in trouble. But I guess enough was enough.
The guy's a scumbag. He should have been cut loose a long time ago.
He was one of the first human CSEC officers. Guess it would have looked bad if he got fired. A lot of backroom deals were worked out over the years to keep him on the force. Politics is a dirty business sometimes, but it looks like his time's run out. We've got enough humans in CSEC now to stop protecting him.
I thought this embassy was supposed to help humans.
Harkin may be human, but he's also an ass. He's had more than his share of chances. If the embassy wasn't protecting him, he would have been fired 15 years ago. CSEC is better off without him.
I want to know more about the Spectres.
They're not your typical government agency. They tend to work alone, behind the scenes. They take care of problems the Council can't. It's not easy preserving peace across an entire galaxy. The Council prefers to use diplomacy and negotiation. But sometimes more extreme measures are needed.
Tak trošičku to chápu, jo, ale záleží, co přesně budete dělat.
How do they decide who becomes a Spectre?
You can't just apply to join. There's no training program. Spectres aren't made. They're born. The Council's always looking for exceptional individuals. People who can get the job done. Like you. They've been watching you for years. They see something in you. They want you on their side. Nihilus was supposed to give them a final recommendation. But with him gone, things are still up in the air.
Jo, tak takhle to je. Oni už ho sledovali už nějakou tu dobu. Tak to potom asi jo, no, že se od něj tak lidi zajímali. Nebo spíš ty ostatní rasy, no. Teď už to teda chápu, no.
They sound like shadow operatives.
Everything about them is classified. We don't even know how many there are. The latest Alliance estimate puts their numbers under 100. But the Council couldn't do its job without them. They're the Citadel's top agents, the last line of defense, the final option before open war. The entire galaxy respects and fears them. If a Spectre shows up, you know something big is about to happen.
What happens when a Spectre goes rogue, like Saren?
It doesn't happen often. The Council is careful when they select their candidates. But when something does go wrong, there's usually only one solution. Send another Spectre to bring the rogue agent down.
Tell me more about the Shadow Broker.
He's a necessary evil of galactic politics. Buying and selling information is a part of the game, and the Shadow Broker just happens to be the best player on the field. Always sells to the highest bidder. Doesn't get involved in politics, doesn't pick sides. A simple system, but it works. He's not a threat to anyone, not directly. He's just a resource we can use, or she is. Or maybe they are. Nobody really knows.
Tak to asi chápu, no, proč na tom trpí.
Tell me about Barlavan.
He specializes in moving large sums of money without leaving a paper trail. A financial genius, doesn't do anything illegal, but he knows all the loopholes. He's got an impressive client list. Ambassadors, diplomats, specters. That's probably why the Shadow Broker uses him.
I should go.
Good luck, Shepard. I'll be over in the ambassador's office if you need anything else.
Už se nám to hromadí. Jo, my ho nemáme odepnutý, tak proto. No, abych to tady asi už ukončil. Tady někdo je.
That guy's up to something.
What guy?
The one over by the Keeper.
Jo, to už bude nějaká mise. Vedlejší.
Not enough data yet.
Tak jo, tak tady bych to ukončil. A pokračování bude zase příště. Já doufám, že tohle už by... No, tohle už mělo být tak přes tu hodinu. Až to budeme hrát po druhý za tu ženskou, tak tam už ty dialogy budeme spíš přeskakovat a necháme si tam jen ty zajímavý. A tady to teda projdeme na tu 100%, jak jsem říkal už. Po čtvrtý asi, jestli se nepletu. Tak jo, tak díky, že jste se divili a ahoj.